I think you haven't seen the news. I
What's the
think
new-
I think you haven't seen the news.
I've been inundated with a lot of research and videos about UAPs and Bieber and Dave Chappelle and trade tariff stuff. What's the news?
Trump
looking
just
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump just won the trade war and you missed it. He just unilaterally paused all tariffs for every country who has put retaliatory or who has said, "Hey, we're going to negotiate with America."
Mm-hmm.
He then doubled the tariffs on Russia. And
Russia?
I'm sorry,
Really?
on China.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show you just a little bit about what's going on right now because of that. The Nasdaq today, the Dow Jones is up 7 and pumping. Like it's still pumping. This is the reason this is genius is because he has simultaneously look, it makes sense. So basically Trump said this. Look, if you raise your hand and you said you're willing to negotiate with us, we are immediately pausing all the big retaliatory tariffs and we're moving them down to 10% for 90 days so that we can all negotiate and everybody can win. Meanwhile, he increased the tariff on China to 125%. Why does that matter? Well, because it essentially pits everyone in the world against China now. I'm going to give credit where credit is due to this guy's explanation, which I completely understand and agree with, okay? This is from Sightbringer. Trump just launched a geoeconomic warhead disguised as a tariff policy. 125% on China is not just punitive, it's a full spectrum decoupling mechanism. Simultaneously, the 90-day global pause is not even a reprieve. It's a strategic realignment window, meaning he's giving the rest of the world a very simple choice. Shift your supply chains now or risk being economically collateralized alongside China. This bifurcates global trade into two reflexive blocks. One, the dollar-aligned nations that get access, liquidity. Dollar-aligned nations will now get access, liquidity, and time to decouple from China. China-aligned nations now get isolation, uncertainty, and risk of repricing. Behind the surface, it now forces capital to flow away from China and into nations that are U.S.-aligned production zones, like India or Vietnam or Japan, whoever signs these deals in the next 90 days. It increases the urgency for onshoring and reindustrialization. It accelerates the commoditization of trust like Bitcoin, gold, and energy. And it also signals the end of multilateral trade norms. Bilateral leverage is now sovereign doctrine. This is Trump Doctrine 2.0. Tariffs as a monetary policy, timing as a weapon, trade as a structure realignment, and they just fired the starting gun in the next global economic order. Like, this is, people say this should have been a plan from the part. Somebody else wrote, basically, holy F, what a move. Here you have 125% on China, 90-day reprieve for the rest. Trump just split the deck and rewrote the rules mid-hand. Capital will now flow safely to safety and scarcity and sovereignty. You either pivot now or get steamrolled by the velocity of change. This is like absolute genius. And while he's doing, this is bullish, right? Yeah, Dow's up 2K and pumping. And then what this actually does too is strategic level 101, Trump isolates the real trade offender, China, while giving out everyone else 90 days to come to the table. It's not about isolationism. It's about restoring fairness. Let the deals begin. This is, if you had known this was coming yesterday, the market is going, hey, Donald Trump told you yesterday this is a great time to buy. So essentially,
I think you took his advice.
I did take his advice
there, and I
did.
think I saw you on social media being like, "I'm buying the dip."
Yeah.
And now in hindsight, that was a pretty good move there by you.
Yeah, I bought the dip all week, and now my portfolio is still down. It's mostly because I own a lot of Rumble, and Rumble is extremely volatile. Like, it was up to 14, and yesterday it was under 7. And because I own, like, it's more than 50% of my portfolio, I need to diversify. But I started out only by saying, like, well, I'm buying Rumble just because, and it's going to be my only stock. And I was like, maybe it makes sense to buy some other stocks to, like, hedge. When Rumble's pumping, it's great. But when it's not, like, Rumble's up 11.67%. Tesla's up 16% today. Nvidia's up 15%. Apple's up 9%, even though Apple like heavily relies on China. So, I mean,
they're having emergency flights with iPhones.
Oh yeah,
they're like, get them all out, all out immediately. But they're probably going to shift to India.
That's what's going to happen. That's why this is so genius. People forget.
I remember looking at. I was in India before, and I went to some of their. I went to their manufacturing kind of facilities where a lot of the clothes and a lot of the stuff are made there. My goodness gracious, like the shock and horror. I mean, there's people here complaining about, work conditions. Like, you have no idea what the rest of the world is going through. But yeah, the reports are coming in. 2,000 point surge, biggest rally in 5 years.
2,700 now, by the way.
Yeah, after Trump postponed the tariffs here.
Nobody saw this coming, Luke.
Yeah,
nobody predicted this. People thought, oh, he's going to pause the tariffs.
Plus, also the caveat here is that Hollywood is going to be wrecked as well.
Yeah,
a lot of the movies that American movies had bigger box office numbers in China than they did in the United States.
Right.
They just got cut off. The whole movie industry, the whole Hollywood industry is cooked. Like, they're gonna be done.
Yeah, and I hope what's genius about this is people don't think that a company can just move production in 90 days, but they can. For the past how many years, nations like India, Honduras, all this stuff. Bitcoin's over 82,000 right now. It was at 73,000 yesterday when I bought the dip. I bought that dip hard at 73K.
With Bitcoin or with just indexes, or do you rather not say?
I've posted very publicly which stocks I have. I bought Tesla because people are stupid for not buying Tesla. I bought Nvidia. I bought more Rumble yesterday. I bought Walmart yesterday, and Walmart's ripping today. Walmart's ripping, and I'm not a stock guy. I'm just like, oh well, if tariffs are bad, look at Walmart. It's up 10% today. So every dollar I put in there yesterday is now worth $1.10. So I mean, but I did not know this was coming. I was just buying the dip, and there's not enough chips for all that dip. That's how I felt yesterday. I basically was like, I swear this was a very real conversation. My wife was like yelling at me. She's like, Jeremy, stop. And I was like, no, you don't understand. This is a generational dip. Because like every time she would log into the bank account, I had taken another $10,000 out. It's like, she's like, what happened to all of our savings? I'm like, it's going to the moon. Like it was. I was just buying because I'm like,
this is why men are better at finance, because they're more they're less risk adverse. Right?
Yeah,
Women are not risk adverse at all, and they're like, no, don't do it, no.
Yeah,
and in reality, that was the best move to make here. So
she's probably like 1 minute away from. She was like one more degen Jeremy moment from changing the password on the bank account. Like I was taking money out of like our money market. I'm like, hey, we're only making 4% in the money market. I'm going to make 15% in the stock market. She's like, Jeremy, no, not to redeem it. And I was like, no, I'm buying this dip. And she's like, you're obsessed. I was like, well, you just stop logging into the bank account. And then when you log back in next year, there'll be a lot more money in there.
There you go.
So yeah, I kept buying, I was going to buy a lot of Pokemon cards, obviously Charizards, things like that. So it's wild. Obviously, it's one day. I assume tomorrow there's going to be a big sell-off because everyone that's been down is going to ride this rally, and then they're going to profit take a little bit. That's just the way it works. Mm-hmm. But I mean, ultimately, nobody, like I wouldn't buy today. You don't buy a rally. But tomorrow, when it's down another 3% again, because people take money out, then there's another buying opportunity because it's just going to keep pumping.
I've never gotten into the stock market. I don't even understand it. I don't even know how to get into it. What advice would you give someone like me who's like, okay, maybe I should
buy the indexes?
Buying indexes. So which one would you recommend? And I think do we have to preface not financial advice? This is
not financial advice.
This is your advice to me because I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I know the stonks game. I know the meme games. I know the NFT games. I know the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, shitcoin game. But I don't know this game.
Well, here's why you buy the dip or buy the index, right? Let's say it's 2022. This is not that long ago.
So I would just go into like Robinhood and buy the Dow Jones.
You can buy yes, you can do that. Yep. So if you had bought the Dow Jones 5 years ago, you'd be up 70%. There is no other investment on the planet unless you hit on a single stock that you're going to get 70% return. This is in 5 years. So if you put $10,000 in the Dow Jones 5 years ago and didn't touch it, you'd be up 70%. The same is true of the NASDAQ. If you had just bought the NASDAQ index 5 years ago, you'd be up 104%. You would have doubled your money. And you don't touch it. You just put it in, you leave it in, you don't play with it. Just like your mom and dad taught you in the birds and the bees conversation. So like...
Put it in, don't play with it.
Yeah.
I never heard that advice.
I think the Mormons call that soaking.
Okay, yeah, but I never got that conversation.
Yeah, or if you're going to buy, the S&P is probably the better one. That's better than the Dow. Because that's a conglomerate of 500 stocks, right? So if you go 5 years ago...
Do you have a favorite trading platform that you recommend? Like a lot of people say Robinhood is the best one to do it. I know
Robinhood...
I know there's another one on like people's phones that people use all the time that's pretty popular. I forgot the name of it. I don't
want to recommend one. Chat, let them do it. Like Robinhood, I think did some real shit. Like when they did some nonsense where they shut down
with what's it called?
GameStop.
GameStop.
Yeah, they were doing some shenanigans. Yes. Yeah. Webull is one a lot of people use. I think Fidelity is probably the safest. I don't know if Fidelity or just Schwab is also fine. Robinhood also has all the like, I'm a degenerate gambler addict app notifications and stuff that a lot of people like, but ultimately that's up to you. People in chat say Schwab or Robinhood is user friendly, but not the best and has gotten into trouble.
Cash App is one that a lot of people use too.
Cash App to buy stocks? I don't think so. I never heard of that.
Cash App? There's another one where you could buy Bitcoin and you could buy stonks.
Oh, that's I know what you're talking about. It's not Cash App. It's something else. Webull maybe, or chat will tell us. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to like get crazy about it, you can on Cash App. So Coinbase might be what you're thinking of.
Coinbase you want to avoid Coinbase. Coinbase is the worst. You want to make sure if you have any type of like cryptocurrency, you have it in your own custody. You don't want.
And by the way, we are not telling people to invest money. Yeah, don't invest money today unless you know what you're doing, because you wouldn't want to invest on a rally.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do, and that's how they get wrecked. They invest when it goes up because they get greedy. Then when it goes down, they have a lot of fear. They sell, and that's how the kind of big players kind of come in, and then they are able to profit off of the people who are more kind of emotionally connected to it all. And
that's it. To illustrate that, to what you're saying, the meme is basically people buy in here, and it just goes up and up and up, and they're like, "This is great. All I do is make money." Then they go down and they sell. Then it starts going back up again and they buy again. Then it goes down and they sell again. If they had just held, they'd be here. You know what I mean? Like they'd be at the 70% return. So but the bigger picture here is, this is going to open up. China is still, the thing is, China still has to come to the table.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think they're going to keep fighting this for quite a long time, just to kind of see how it plays out here. But because they're talking pretty tough here. I don't know from what I'm seeing here.
You know what I say Trump does next?
What?
Maybe Chad knows the exact number. But if he wanted to go full on, I'm in my degenerate era now, so this is a degenerate strategy. But if Trump wanted to go full degen, do you know how much land China owns in America? How much farmland? 345,000 acres.
I'm gonna pull it up because I saw the kind of map overlay of it, and it was pretty terrifying. I also sent you the Chinese U.S. exports from 1985 to 2023, highlighting the disparity and where we were kind of going on this old pathway of the old economic world order, which was propping up China. Now I think this is why I think Trump's changes are so important right now, because it is shifting the game. It is shifting the landscape. When presidents used to prop up China, now the opposite of that is happening, and China's pissed.
Well, here's to complete that thought. Everyone in chat already knows where I'm going. I hope you all join me in my degen era. Take it all. Take it all. Say, guess what, China? You don't own it anymore. Did you know that it's illegal for America to own any property in China? We can't own a single square foot. There's no established titles to be a full-on Chinese by buying 1 square foot of land in China. They do not allow it. So what we need to do is say, you do not own this land anymore. Sorry. And then you use that land to help our farmers and farming industry.